Hello, David Hosey from Hosey Consulting and Training. Today we've got a micro Roni with a Glock 19 Gen 4. It was one I had as a rental gun for quite a while. Upgraded with a Gen 5 Glock 19 MOS, which is a great gun. I'll do a review otherwise, but this is the micro Roni CAA with the folding little micro stabilizer on it. Got a pretty good deal in it, even free shipping from Israel. Package deal is at 4 SIG Romeo 5 I put on it. So as I was getting this, and it was shipping, I looked on the internet, and 300,000 views with 4 different videos on YouTube and Full 30, and I heard all kinds of different things on this. I'm thinking, maybe I was rethinking my purchase. Like, the slide release won't lock open manually like I just did. Or if you put a magazine in, you have to work this back here. You can't drop the slide release. Oh, I guess you can. It takes a little bit to work that. I'll show that in just a minute here. The next thing is, this is wildly inaccurate. I saw one guy that had problems hitting at 25, but it was the iron sights, and I don't think he knew how to use them or zero them. And then he was afraid of the rain and mud, and it's sunny right now, but it's been raining on us, and I'm in the mud right now. You got other people that say it's not good past 50. A third that says it only can get to 75, and the other one, I'm not even sure if he was hitting targets. So I'm here just a touch past 100, and let's see if I can hit something. Wait, I got told by all these YouTube reviewers that didn't show where they are. You want to show where my target is there? So what is a micro Roni? Well, it's the micro version of the Roni, which is a shell for any number of Glocks, or it could be other pistols too. They make them for a variety of models. This one is the one that fits Glock 19s, Glock 22s, and Glock 32s. So pardon me, Glock 23s and 32s. How this works in here is you have inside a shell pull this down here to unlock the front. A regular Glock 19. This is a Gen 4. It'll take this model will take Gen 3 and 4s. They have like a model 3.5 that'll take Gen 5s. This is the Gen 5 equipped that's replacing this. So I had a spare 19. We'll do a good review on this here soon. It's a nice improvement. But back to this. Put it back together. Charging handles. Index on the slide serration. Slip that over. Index is on the front rail. And clicks in there otherwise. Push this down. Push it forward to lock. Index is back here. Charging handle controls the slide. This is a reciprocating charging handle, so if you put something back here, a finger, it's going to cause a malfunction and get reminded of it. We have a safety here for features. Blocks the trigger finger. Naturally, the trigger finger pushes it down, and you have access to the safety. Sweep it back up otherwise. Kind of like an old SKS or M14 safety. It works. There's a space around it, but I think it'd be hard pressed to get in here. There's a detent that holds it up. It's just strong enough to push it, to give you resistance to push it out of the way, but I don't think you could easily knock it without on purpose doing it. Magazine release works the same. Walking back the slide release. I've seen some other reviews where they're just pushing on this and it not working. It's a two-part thing. You push in this till it clicks and push up. Locks the slide. Drop, do otherwise. I've seen all kinds of people not doing that. This is a mechanical linkage. It doesn't directly replace it. It's a two-part thing. So once again, got to push down till it clicks, then goes up. It's hard to see, but there's 2 parts actually here. Other items. This isn't a stock here. This is technically a brace. I can pull it out, put my arm through, and I can shoot it that way as an assisted thing. I can shoot it resting against my cheek, or against the stock here. Latest ATF letters say any of the 3 ways, or just doing this is all fine. This folds, which reduces it to 14 inches. Extended just about 20. This is pretty stubby. They make a slightly longer one if you're interested. but this works pretty good as a brace. Up top you have two sights that are pop-up, easily adjustable here, forward adjust here. Not that hard to zero. They have a large peep sight, or if you push on through, a smaller sight. The large peep sight is in a lot of ways a ghost ring. They lock back down easy, and if you just reset to the middle there, are ambi to release. It has these thumb rests on here, which allow, if you're shooting, to kind of hold it down and get it better, to get a better grip and more control over rapid fire. It also allows you not to put your finger in front of things here. The barrel's right here. That's why the Glock you saw was a bit dirty. I'm doing a Durn test about 400 rounds, and it encloses a lot of the debris inside. This is an extension, kind of like a flash can. It's not directly linked to the barrel. A lot of it, it's mostly there to keep your fingers from getting in front of it. These help otherwise and help control rapid fire. They attach to a pick rail and are removable with a little work. This is to go on any 1913 rail. I think this might work on something else. I'm not sure how that would work. A lot of times that overgrip, you're trying an AR to get over the top, you can't do with this, so that allows you to work otherwise. Last feature this has is a light in front of the release for the Glock is release for the light. It pops out here, 500 lumens. We'll do a quick comparison on that later. Only one indicator does it. It's ambient, but you can flip it around. It fits in either way. Clicks back in, resides there safely. So, really to compare something what it is, you got to compare it to what it's not. So after a Glock 19, again, this is considerably more bulky too. But a lot of people compare it to an MP5K. We'll do a shooting comparison on this later. But you can see the overall length, it's actually a couple inches shorter. Width, about the same. Brace and stock folded. MP5 is just a little thinner and about the same width. Comparing it to a gun that takes Glock magazines. This is a Chris Super V, first generation, 45 ACP. It's considerably bulkier and considerably heavier. Speaking of weight, this is about 4 3/4 pounds with everything you see on it with no magazine. This is like a pound and a half heavier. The MP5 is about a pound heavier. The stock folded again, it's still a lot smaller and a lot less bulk. This means you can conceal it in a lot of different places. The last thing you might compare it to would be an AR pistol. You're thinking, well, you can do an AR pistol. Again, this thing is smaller. Actually, the length of pole with this old style SIG brace on it is slightly longer, as you can see. Even if you cut this down to a 4-inch barrel, this is a 10.5 inch with a flash can, and made this a 9mm conversion, about there, you would still, maybe just a touch shorter. When this folds up, it's still lighter. And with that bolt, it's still shorter, lighter, easier. So the next thing on comparison is we're going to see how it shoots more. What we're going to do is run some drills, compare it to the Glock 19, Gen 5 with the red dot, take it out itself into bare bones, so compare it to what it works with the Roni chassis and without it, and compare it to an MP5K. I've seen some gun writers online compare this to an MP5K and what it does. And we'll see what it can do. Price-wise, thought on price, this is about a $550 Glock and about $500 the macaroni and accessories as you see it. This is like $2,100. So this is with a Type 6 RMR and a Crimson Trace light, still more expensive than this. So let's see what we can do with this. Okay, for what I'm going to choose is a drill to distinguish things as a moving dynamic drill, as the inherent accuracy of this against the bare pistol is kind of nominal, and that's not really where this thing shines. It shines with movement and being able to grab onto the gun and have more points of control. We'll shoot it by itself, we'll do an MP5K, we'll do the bear gun by itself and a Glock Gen 5, so we got the red dot on that. We compare against bare iron sights. The drill, 4 shots to the body, 4 shots to the head while moving. 4 seconds is the par time, which is, if you know what you're doing, it's fairly easy to do. With a long gun, you start getting pistols and it really goes down. I think this is where to really shine and where it works better with pistols. So we'll start here. Okay, 3.59. So not bad. Displaced maybe 10 feet. Put 4 shot rounds to the body, 4 into the head. Pretty good time. We'll see what the MP5 can do for us. MP5K. .19. So about 4/10 of a second faster. The recoil on impulse on this is smoother. I'll have to be perfectly honest. That's what $1,000 more gets you. So my splits are maybe a little bit more better, but I'm not sure if it's $1,000 better. We'll try with the pistol. So bare pistol here. It's a little dirty from all that debris getting blown down and closed inside the Roni. I'm going to do it from starting at the close retention position instead of a holster, since that'd be kind of fair to what we're doing with the carbines. Okay, 3.75. So a couple seconds slower. Let's go see what the Gen 5 can do. Gen 5 Glock, RMR. See if that makes a difference in what's going on here. So, square it up. .4 even, and I threw a shot. I think I'm still getting used to the red dot on this. Okay, so as we saw at closer range, a couple tenths of a second faster with this. Where it comes in stronger than just an iron-sighted pistol, where the red dot's really helping to be able to mount here, is I'm at 25 yards. Got a 10-inch plate down there, but I'll probably hit it within a 4-inch circle. I can't do it that fast with any handheld pistol. I can make the shot with it, but it'll have to be a lot slower. At rapid fire at this distance, even thought, again, this wanders just a little bit. It seems to the mechanical accuracy is another spot where this shines, is a touch more distance. So what I got here is a group I shot at 25 yards a week ago. Since then, I took the Roni, the Glock 19 out of it, at least a dozen times in and out. What we're going to do is go to 25 yards, shoot another group, and see if there's any zero shift with this when you take it in or out. Okay, I think I threw one. Other ones are pretty good. So there's my flyer. Otherwise, the group's not that bad. Notice this is not a precision weapon. Good enough for 100 yards. Off tape, I got out to like 170, I think. We're just screwing around with it, but 100 yards is where it's good and confirmed in. It'll do it, but and it won't lose zero back and forth. I'm pretty impressed with that. I'll give you a few final thoughts here. So let's see how well this light works here. We got some failing light, and also how much flash we get out of it. I've got Federal 115 grain American Eagle in here. So a little bit of noticeable flash, but not too bad. We can turn that on. We'll compare it. You can see the spot down there. to a TLR7. TLR7 micro Roni light. TLR7 micro Roni light. They're both 500 lumens. They're all fairly compatible. I think the micro Roni is just a little bit wider light. So what does this give you that like the MP5 doesn't, or just another Glock 19? Well, it is another Glock 19. I can carry one on my hip. I'm carrying the exact same gun here. Back to that old cowboy thing where you used to have 40 for your Winchester and your Colt rifle. I can have the same magazine for my carbine and the same magazine for my carry pistol. It's also lighter than a lot of the ARs that are 9mm, the MP5, or the Chris Super V. It can fold up. Take the magazine out and fold it here into about any bag you can imaginable. Get it. Some large ladies' purses, Merces if you swing that way. Backpacks, get home bags. It works as a good truck gun. Then you've got a good fighting gun right away that matches exactly yours here. Is it worth the $1,100 in it? Well, you have to be the judge of this. This is America. We've got a huge number of options. But you're like me, and upgraded my Gen 4 to a Gen 5. There's a lot of advantages in this. I'll give it a quick review. So I had a spare Gen 4. So for $500, I got this with all the add-ons, sling, light, backup sights, a complete fighting system. Again, takes everything that I use. I think it's worth it. I think it's actually pretty useful. And this may be thrown in some of the vehicles as a gun. The other thing is, it's a pistol. It means I can carry it across state lines. I can use it in my concealed carry, which I can't do with an SBR. It gives me a lot of advantages. If you want to rent Gen 5 Glock MLS or a Gen 4 in a micro Roni and see what they're like, come out and train with me. These are available for rental, and I can show you some of the techniques we went over here today. Thank you for your time and consideration. Good evening.